And maybe this is another way to sort of describe this, so that because I'm a different, sort of like a different lens, a different aspect of the same creation when I communicate with others, right? Just like everybody else does with everybody else. So another way that I could use a different set of words is I'm experiencing, because experiencing is the informer of what you become aware with your antenna. So what I'm aware of on the minus / the plus side as polarity integrator, I'm measuring the net loss and gain in the exchange of energy between one unit of consciousness and another unit of consciousness. That's what it is. So that's the invisible landscape. So this is energy management, which is mathematical management, in the way that, if you will, just keep it small, electron, proton, neutrons work together. They work together to be in harmony, seeking the pathway of least work. That's as logic as it gets. Why would you want to have to do work if the universe has already provided for the fact that it's unnecessary? It's more intelligent than that. You'd have to know that, right? It doesn't like to do work. Not when the work is being done for you, which means it's automatic, which means the source from which it all comes is not struggling to experience the universe that it began with. It's not a struggle. That means it's seeking to be in balance, so there's no effort at experiencing what love is. Whoa, that's a natural sound musician. Yes, that's a sound magician. Precisely. So you're experiencing the music. That's what we're experiencing. So if the music is not in harmony and rhythm, a musician is going to know that. If you know how to play a sound instrument that is. Right? It does start with music. I know, because my favorite instrument are what are known as percussion instruments, although I love all instruments and all ways in which you can make a sound that moves your spirit. In other words, the sound moves you to make movement. So that's how a lot of times when I listen to music, that's the first thing I'm going to notice. If my hands and my fingers and both my feet are playing percussion instruments now, like I'm a drummer, with every toe and every finger, right? Everything is moving with all the waves and colors and color codes, frequency codes, to be in harmony and rhythm. But, when you're an original musician, you sort of have your own, you dance to sort of your own, in other words, you're not a follower. You're not following somebody else's music. There's a difference between following and being in love with the music, which means you're in a state of musical being. The spirit that is in the musical sphere is in perfect balance. So all the spheres are in perfect balance with all the other spheres that are playing music. That means that is high intelligence that not only knows how to do the math, but loves music and loves to dance to the music. Whoa, so the universe was created out of artists and poets, creator beings, yes, musicians. That's why they use the word ascended masters. It means you become a master tuner or a master musician. It means that you have learned to tune into the stars, all the waves, all the cells, all the molecules. Everything is in perfect balance. That's called rhythm and harmony. All musicians know that. So the math has to work, otherwise your instruments are out of tune. Right? Like tuning a guitar, tuning a piano, tuning a drum. Right? So now you want rhythm and balance. Every drummer knows what rhythm and balance is. Right? It has to work. There has to be some way in which the energy, you're harmonizing with the energy, with the waves. You're tuned into the waves and you're playing music. And when it makes you dance, then you know that the music, the sound that you're making is causing you to dance. So you realize this is the energy that the universe runs on, is music. That's right. So as a drummer, what I do is add more instruments at a time to keep playing more instruments that are different, producing different sounds, which are different frequencies, as an arrangement, but it's all in harmony. Because you can experience doing stuff like this. You know, playing a tambourine while playing. Ever seen the this was cool. I used to have that little tiny. It was a monkey. It was a little tiny monkey that had both feet going with bass drums, and then and it was with sticks, right, with the claps, the hi hat going up and down, right, and playing multiple instruments, right. You see how why they do that? That's just like the lady down the street whose partner name is Michael. She's, I guess, pretty rich, supposedly one of the richest on the island. She's the one that took me to the airport when I flew to Oahu to meet Misha and go stay with her for about a week and a half. And when she took me to the airport, we always have open conversations, right? We're not afraid to not say who we are and whatever we're experiencing, and thus we communicate it as if we're censored, live in a closet. No, I'm afraid to tell you what I'm experiencing out of some fear over what, not when you're what love is, right? But you do sort of measure along the way what things you want to reveal and not reveal, and it depends on who it is and whether or not that's cool. Because, in other words, there is a certain level of library that you run on based on the speed in which some places it's cool and some places it isn't, depending on where you're at, right? Known unknowns, you know, security stuff, security teams, right? It's like, you know, spilling the beans or letting the cat out of the bag, because you could end up getting yourself in trouble along with others. See, and then you get into decoys and all kinds of stuff, right? Because this is for all the marbles. You know, when mathematicians come together to want to produce something that's going to generate a guardian level unit of consciousness, a soul and a spirit, that's a major trust issue, right? Okay, so you got to know who you're working for when those kind of jobs are being delegated, and that means you got to have a primal sound field and light connection. Which means your consciousness, it's impossible to have your consciousness weaponized. Which means you're not ever going to go to war in your own mirror against the source from which it all began. Otherwise, how can you ever be trusted if you're doing that? You got to know what side you're on. Right? You got a God connection? You got a connection to the main firehouse? And if you do, they'll certainly know it. You're the first one out. God's real messengers, right? Right out of the gate. Fire station number 1. Law of one. That's right. Fire station number 1. That's the law of one. So that's the fire station I run out of. Okay. Yep. But you won't see me wearing stars and rank and horsepower stuff, because there's a father and mother of me joined as one. So that works a little different. You would see me in a firehouse wearing, you know, a flower shirt with a flower clown on top of my head, a real one, right? With bare feet on the beach. Beachcombers, right? Beachcombers, beach lovers, ocean lovers, land lovers, tree lovers, sky lovers, sun lovers, lovers of everything the universe is giving you all for free. Yeah, it's free of charge. In other words, you don't got to pay anything to come into our Disneyland or our fun zones. They're free of charge. They run on eternity energy, which is what love is. It goes on forever, gifting you all love. That's a better deal, don't you think? A better deal? Remember, make a deal. Let's make a deal. Right? Salesman? I know. Have a beautiful evening.